Hey everyone, welcome back to CellsToSell. My name is Heem, that's Nick, and this episode isn't going to be anything science or business or anything related. We're just going to do a little channel recap.
Yeah, we thought it'd be good. We picked up a lot of new subscribers, we picked up a lot of new viewers, and we just felt like at the turn of the new year, we just kind of want to reintroduce ourselves, reestablish kind of what this podcast is and why we're doing it. Mostly, honestly, it's for fun. I think Heem and I really enjoy this. So, we're just gonna go through and do like a little recap. So, how many videos do you think we have?
I'd say probably 15 plus, 20 plus. I think we have at least.
No, I think
20.
we have at least 30.
30?
We have like the last Will Wolftang one we just posted on last Friday. I think that was like 14 or 15. We have a Trivia Tuesday with almost every week, so we're almost at 30 videos, which is wild. I just remember sitting down and talking to Heem for the first time, and we were talking about, just getting the first one out and figuring out the first one, then two, and
like our first one was an hour and something because we just gotta talk about everything.
Yeah.
And then we realized we can't just scratch the surface on everything in an episode for an hour. No one's gonna really know what's going on.
And no one's gonna want to watch an hour long of pure science. I know. Yeah. I have hour and a half lectures, and even though I'm interested about this stuff, I kind of space out a little bit. So
why don't we just actually start off with going over our name, like
CellsToSell. Yeah.
So,
this
was your idea.
This
right?
was my idea.
He wanted something with cells in the name. We're in the same master's program, regenerative medicine and entrepreneurship. So we're being taught science and business side of things.
So we wanted the original goal of this. So let's go with the goal and mission. So the original goal / mission of this podcast was to bring, the cutting edge of science into the lives of people who might not be, in the mix. So the analogy I would tell people is I want to make this podcast so that if my grandma was interested in this, I'd be like, hey, listen to this episode. We kind of scratch the surface, go into a little bit of details. But we bring papers in, but we're not reading papers. We're not talking about, specific cell markers that you use for testing for flow cytometry or immunohistochemistry, anything like that. We really want it to be kind of like just an organic scientific experience where, it might pull the fears out of you from what you had in high school biology where you're like, I don't want to do that. Where we kind of want to give like a light, airy feel to the really cool science that's happening, going to save lives either next year or 10 years down the line. I mean, some of the research we've talked about on this podcast is so interesting and so cutting edge, but at the same time, it's very deep. There's a lot of details. There's a lot that's going into it. So we just kind of want to present that in a way, in a very digestible way, in like, small 15, 20-minute videos of us talking. I think it'd be cool if I had any artistic ability, I would try my best to do animations.
Oh, I know. That's the one thing I feel like we're lacking.
I know, like animations would be so helpful because we talk about all of these things that are literally nanometers small. I mean, nanometers we're talking. And, it's really hard to visualize that, especially if you haven't been in the field. So maybe that's something we can look into. But the name, CellsToSell, obviously regenerative medicine, entrepreneurship. Regenerative medicine, we're talking stem cells, we're talking cellular therapy, we're talking all sorts of stuff. So the first cell is spelled CELL. Mm-hmm. So that is the cells that make up your body, the cells that we're using for medicine. Mm-hmm. And then two cells, so the second cell is an SELL. So that's talking about the business side. I really want to get into more biotech companies and talking about, what's big pharma, what's small pharma, what's medium pharma, because there's so many different levels to it. And when people talk about, the Pfizers, the Modernas, we've heard those names thrown around because of COVID. But understanding how you take something from just a cellular concept to market, to sell to people or to sell to investors or to sell to big pharma in order to actually make the drug available for people, it's important to understand that process because a lot of people are like, where's the silver bullet for cancer? And it's like, well, it's a lot more complicated than that. It's billions of dollars going into it, and lots of resources. So that name, I thought, really encapsulated, the master's program we're in and what we're studying, and why we want to bring it to you. Because before I came into this program, I didn't really know all this.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of the stuff, like the cutting edge science, honestly happens if you know your fundamentals right. And sometimes reading the fundamentals in textbooks and stuff is kind of like, what's the purpose? So we're kind of combining fundamental stuff through our episodes, and then we're bringing in guests and stuff where we can see real life application of these fundamentals. So like when we talk about CAR Ts, it's just your immune cells. We're just re-engineering them. With viruses, we talk about how the mRNA creates the antibodies and stuff. So we have we're connecting fundamentals to real life stuff, and we're doing that by not only us just talking, but we're going to bring in more people. You've seen we brought in Victoria, we brought in Ryan, we brought in Will, we brought in Samita, we brought in some cool people, and we hope to continue to do so. So, and we just happened to, neither of us knew about all of the amazing stuff happening at Case. And when we came here, we were both starstruck a little bit. So we're like, why don't we do a multi-purpose thing where we not only educate people, but we also bring Case's name out there, and we get other people to get inspired and maybe can set up collaborations between people. So we have a few things going on with this podcast.
Yeah, and I think it's really cool. We have some cool ideas. We're talking about kind of behind the scenes that can kind of switch up some of the content that we're doing. I know that Trivia Tuesday is on Tuesdays and an episode on Friday. Not that it's getting stale. We're not doing the same thing over and over again, but I'm someone who consumes a ton of media, and I kind of like a little a little switch up every once in a while. So we're kind of talking about that. We're working on our shorts. We're on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. Just come and follow us. We're trying to get more involved in the social media game. We had both of us had a very busy Christmas and break. So every episode you've seen since probably December 5th
was recorded before
was all recorded before the new year. So,
it's crazy how many episodes that people don't know that we've literally just changed clothes.
Yeah.
I guess you could tell by our hair.
Maybe.
Whatever our hair is that day kind of stays consistent.
Kind of, but it's,
We've recorded episodes months apart.
Mm-hmm. And we have to. We're students. We're doing this for fun. And again, it's for fun. And any viewer that we have, consistent or on one video, we are very thankful for. Mm-hmm. We just want to be able to share our experiences because we think that our experiences are really cool and really important. Yeah. And we're bringing people in to just show how much you can experience in different ways, in different labs, in different areas of study. Mm-hmm. And we're just trying to have fun with it, switch it up. We're trying to have fun doing our own thing. So
I think from this program, I've also started to understand that if you want to be in this biotech industry, you do not only need to know the science. There are people that have no background in science and flourish in this field because they're interested, and you just talk to them, learn from the people that are the entrepreneurs. Some business people aren't totally involved with the science, but they talk to scientists and figure that all out. There are people in regulation that have to know both the regular science and business side of things. So it's just a mix of people, and if you're interested in any one of these fields, you can listen to our podcast, see what's going on, and maybe reach out to some of these people, get involved. And the more people we have in this industry, the more we'll see this come about.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think one of our goals when Heem and I talked about this before we even recorded the first episode was collaboration. We wanted to just meet people and connect with people and work with people and just figure out, just what really is going on out there. Because I work in a lab.
Yeah.
It's very easy to get, pigeonholed, or, you put the blinders on and you're only worried about what's going on in your lab. But there's so much. For example, I work in a hematopoietic stem cell lab, and I work with graft versus host disease mice, and I work in collaboration with a couple other labs, just by helping with some little stuff. But down the hall, there's this lab that I think does their like drug development, and I wished that I walk past them every day to like go get ice or go to the bathroom or go run flow or go downstairs to the mice room or the mouse room.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could just like shadow for one day and just see what they're doing because it looks so interesting. They're constantly moving, they're constantly doing things, and I just think that that's so cool that we can work within 300 square feet of each other, and we're doing 200 two completely separate things, but we're both impacting the world. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and like sometimes I feel like learning about other people's work can sometimes make you realize something about yours.
Yeah.
Like you said, when you're in that tunnel vision thing, just hearing about how another scientist figured out their stuff, your brain will use that information and literally try and think about how it can be applied to yours. And believe it or not, sometimes you can just get inspiration from something that's completely unrelated to what you're doing.
Yep.
Completely unrelated. And
that's science, dude.
That's science. And that's just you sitting at home watching one of these videos, hearing about some of this stuff. And whenever we have guests, we usually ask them, hey, could you recommend us some papers for you guys? And they do. They send them over. And if you guys should read them, because that's how they do it. The theory's all there and papers and stuff. And oftentimes it's their publication as well. So
yeah. So to the new viewers, I'm Nick. That's him. I'm from Cincinnati. Well, I'm really from Kentucky, but I just say I'm from Cincinnati because it's easier. I'm from northern Kentucky. I have a degree in I have a degree in biology with a concentration in cellular and molecular biology, and I'm a first year, second semester grad student here at Case, and I feel like I've grown so much in 4 months versus 4 years, and it's been so much fun. I've done a lot of things, and this podcast is one of my favorites. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah, me too.
I check this page. I check for comments. I check for stuff. I'm always looking. I'm just checking. I'm like, okay, we're kind of getting out there a little bit. Like, we're trying. Right. So, go reintroduce yourself really quick.
Well, hey, everyone. My name's Heem. My family and everyone lives in Michigan, Grand Blanc, nice small town next to Flint. I went to undergrad at Michigan State University in East Lansing and did a major in human biology. So we both have biology backgrounds, and when we met, I'm a second year, by the way. I'm a second semester student. So I came a little bit earlier than Nick, but it took me a year and waited. And then when I found Nick, I was like, all right. When I first met Nick, I was like, okay. I really liked his excitement about everything we're doing. And I also thought, he talks nice. And I was like, okay, let me ask him about this podcast idea. So I asked him out to dinner one day. I was like, dude, I got something to talk to you about. And he's like, yeah, I'm all in for it. And sometimes when you, ask people about doing some things, they might first hit you with a little bit of doubt or, questions. From the get-go, Nick was like, dude, I'm in. Let's do it. It was only ideas bouncing off of each other from that point onward. So it all worked out. And, I feel like we push each other to keep recording this stuff.
Yeah.
And our Trivia Tuesdays are entertaining, I look back and, so I had to clear some of my phone because of space. We have so much stuff recorded. And I was just, going through some of our trivia episodes. There's some funny moments. We troll each other a little bit, It's kind of... I feel like if we stay consistent with whatever we're doing, the memories build up, and it's always fun.
Yeah, I want people. I wish we could interact more with our audience.
I know.
I want people to make us. There's a website called Sporkle. Yeah, and you can make a ton of different kinds of quizzes on there.
Really?
And you can do, for example, one question, you would have 5 minutes. Let's say me and you had 5 minutes. Someone made a sport quiz, and it was name as many cell organelles as you can in 5 minutes. And there's 25 possible, answers. So you're okay, mitochondria, lysosome, ribosome, nucleus, endoplasmic reticulum, smooth ER, rough ER, Golgi, all that kind of stuff. And we have 5 minutes to answer as many as we can. And then after we can be how could we forget, how could we forget about,
Microtubules.
Exactly. How can we forget about microtubules? And I think that those Sporkle quizzes would be a lot of fun and kind of just change it up a little bit because we've been using the same website for the last, I don't know.
They have good quizzes though. Shout out to them. ProProfs has good stuff.
ProProfs has good stuff.
I like good stuff.
I think Sporkle would be a good way to.
You know, I feel like we have a few people we could,
have them do that for us.
Not have them do that for us, but like call on. So it's like a, group versus group kind of thing. Like we. Yeah. It's we
could.
Teams of 2 or 3.
We could bring in like Brandon and Samina. Well, Samina's gone.
Yeah.
She left. We could bring in like
a couple people. We could talk about it.
We could bring on new people for it.
Definitely.
Or like we could make. I think it'd be fun. In a video that we talk about maybe the Jeopardy idea.
And I think we did it in a Trivia Tuesday.
We might have talked about it in like or like with Samita. Maybe it was with Samita. It might have been with Samita, but I think it would be fun that we make Sporkles. Like one of us, like I make a Sporkle and you make a Sporkle, and then we have a guest on. And then we both give each other with the guest. So like we get the guest to help us, or we help the guest.
Okay.
I think that would be a lot of fun.
I'm down. There's so much to do.
There's so much.
There's honestly so much.
There's so much. And then
we just have to keep it going though. Like I feel like if we haven't missed a Tuesday and a Friday in like 2-3 months, if we can do this for like another 2-3, bro.
Oh, it'll be fun.
Like we'll be
2 or 3. That takes us to what? Spring
6
break?
months.
Takes us to spring break.
We got it.
Yeah, that's easy. Yeah.
We just need to call on new people. Definitely, like now, the guests we've had are kind of like, people I've worked with in the past and like someone I knew like on LinkedIn and stuff, and or Samita's my classmate and stuff. But like now it's time to like,
start reaching out
to like whoever, or ask those connections to give us new connections.
Yeah. Yeah, what is somebody you can contact anybody within like 7 phone calls. Like it takes 7 people to connect with any person in the world.
Interesting.
So, we're already one there. You just got to get people to recommend to the next one. So, no, I think this year the podcast is going to be a lot of fun. Whether we have 5 viewers, 50 viewers, 500 viewers, or 5 million viewers, we're just going to keep doing our thing. Again, we love to hear your guys' feedback. We love to answer some questions. I would love that one day. I hope one day we can just have a third day of the week where we post, where we just answer questions from the last Friday video. We post on a Friday. We get we get questions over the weekend and into Monday, Tuesday, and then we post on like Wednesday night or Thursday before the next episode, where we answer them like frequently asked questions.
Maybe we post
I think that would
Sunday
be a lot
night
of fun.
Or something,
Or some it would just be a light video where we just sit there and we try to give our answers, and if I see something that I don't know, we can try to go ask somebody to get the answer for you. I think one day that's like my dream is like just to have a constant fluid communication cycle of post a video, we take questions, we get emails, we look at comments.
Mm-hmm.
And then we post a video for you guys just to, give you some closure, try to give you some answers, and push you in the right direction to find the answer on your own.
What's your favorite video so far? Let's just go through that.
What's my favorite video? There's a short of me that has like 1.3 thousand, like 1,300 views, which isn't a lot, but compared to what's on our channel,
15 likes.
15 likes.
Oh, because of sex.
I say sex, that's why. Yeah, it's like 1,300 views. But that's not my favorite video. I really think that my favorite video, I don't know. There's a lot of good ones. I think the 2 that we did with Wolf-Tang have to be my favorite. I think that those were just...
That day was awesome.
He was just... Yeah, we recorded like 5 episodes that day.
We recorded Victoria
6. We recorded
and Will
Victoria and Will on the same day. And then we recorded like 2 or 3 Trivia Tuesdays. That was a binge day where we had to, before we went on break.
Yeah.
But I really think I could have talked to Will all day. I would not have stopped. I had so many questions for him. He is such an interesting and smart guy, headed in such a great direction.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just an amazing, like, he sat down. He sat down. Just dropped the phone. He sat down, and it was almost like he was like the third guy on this podcast. Like, he just sat, and we never met before he walked into that door, and he just sat down, and we were just like,
I've seen Will talk before because I joined one of their MD Plus Zoom calls like months ago, and I didn't even turn on my camera. I just like sat, listened to the whole blockchain thing. I was a little shy, so I got to know who Will was and what he was doing and leading, and I was like, wow, I gotta reach out to this guy and see if he'd come on the podcast. And he was so friendly.
He was great.
Yeah,
he was great, and he's such a busy guy. He's so busy, and the fact that he was able to carve out an hour and a half for us. Will, if you are watching this, we'd love to have you back on. Yeah. We really would.
Could you, favorite trivia now?
What's your
favorite trivia?
Favorite trivia.
Because I agree with Nick about the Will episodes.
I love that, I love the Samita episode, too. She was great. And one of the early episodes, Brandon Sassooni, who's in our program, to see when we talk about bringing this science to people who are not who do not have a science background, he's the prime example.
We had a really good conversation in one of these. I think it was the CAR-T, right? We had a really good CAR-T conversation.
Did we?
Me and you.
But our trivia, Hong was such a good episode too. I don't know. There's so many good episodes. I think the Trivia Tuesday from a month ago, it only has 16 views, but that was my favorite one. I edited that video, and I had so much fun editing it. I don't know. We just do a lot. We do a lot. Trivia Tuesday, Cell and Gene Therapy, that one was hard. No, the thumbnail was like, that was hard. Yeah. No, I can't really put a finger on which one is my favorite because I just kind of like doing all of them. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna lie, but I would say that if I had to pick, it would be Will's episodes. Those were so much fun. Again, like when we have people on here, it's great. I love talking to them. I feel like Will could have gone on a Joe Rogan podcast and talked for 3.5 hours, and we could have done that style. And we would have never gotten tired of it. We would have had so much fun.
Our phones would have run out of memory before we would have stopped talking.
I'm not even lying. Yeah, let's talk. You want to talk about the equipment that we use really quick? People probably laugh.
Not yet. Oh, God.
But,
not yet.
No. Dang, it's been 23 minutes already.
Yeah. We should wrap it up.
Yeah, I think we should. So, this is like the first time we're recording this year. We just wanted to kind of get back in our groove, And, over the Christmas holiday, we've gotten a lot of new viewers. People were inside, whether it was snowing or you downloaded our video for a plane or something.
I think this is the perfect episode to just do because we've had a lot of content recently.
We've had a ton of content.
We just want to, for any new viewers, this is who we are.
Yeah.
This is what we're trying to do. And if you want to collaborate, please.
Yeah. And
reach out.
How about this? Yes, reach out. Subscribe. We are constantly on our phones. Mm-hmm. So we will see your notifications, whether it's on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff.
One thing I want to start doing, actually, one last thing, is we should comment and tag some people on LinkedIn posts, like people we know that have not been on the pod even yet, and maybe start a conversation under one of our posts.
Yeah.
Be like, hey.
And kind of pull their followers in and our
What do you think about this? And then they'll be like, oh, that's a great thing, whatever. But,
yeah. No, I think this year is going to be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun. There's a lot to do. There's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of stuff we can bring in. Mm-hmm. If you know how to make thumbnails and you're watching this, we have an email, right? CellsToSell@gmail.com. CellsToSell@gmail.com. Email us, and we would love your help. We really think that's it's like the next thing we really need to work on. Yeah. We've got an okay mic. I think our quality of videos are good. We have the content. We're getting good guests. We just need something to kind of help us pop a little bit. Because we, like I said, I just want to keep communicating with you guys. So if you do happen to watch this, I'm going to guess that this gets like 10 views in the first week. So if you're one of the 10 viewers, I don't know, go ahead.
Our average watch time though is like 2 minutes per video. So
Maybe
people probably watch the intro and they're like, yeah, boring. Because we don't have visuals. It's just us talking.
We'll figure that out.
We'll figure that out.
We'll figure that out. Visuals and thumbnails. Visuals and thumbnails.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, that's the first recorded episode of 2023 of CellsToSell. So if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it. My name's Nick. That's Heem. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you guys.